Now, guess what? On this board right here, I'm gonna share with you 5 money secrets that were shared with me by my rich Indian friend. Guess what? By the way, have you been asking yourself, are these guys know something that we do not know? Because they're so successful not only into their business but their endeavors. In anything and everything that they do, they actually become successful. And guess what? As good Joseph, I always go out there, gather as much as information, and by the way, practical information that I come here and share with you and tell you, hey, guess what? If you do this and this and what, I've actually seen people doing it. I do this and that, and you can as well incorporate it in your life and can actually go ahead and transform your life as far as the finances is concerned. And by the way, if you're clicking this video for the first time, this is Good Joseph talking, and I always talk about money, investment, and anything related to exactly that. And guess what we do here? Here we subscribe, we like the video, and also we comment on the down below. And now you're asking yourself, what's the importance of all those? Guess what? First of all, it doesn't cost you anything. By subscribing, YouTube will notify you whenever I upload a new good video. By liking, guess what happens? This video get pushed out there and most of the people come on board. And by you subscribe or rather commenting down there, I get to understand what is going on out there. And by the way, if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for watching. Now, let's get to the business now. Guess what happens? Just like an iron sharpens another iron, so do we learn from each other. And the point number one that I was told by this guy that was so mesmerizing to me, it is this one. Do you know what I was told by this guy? Listen, take care of coins. The notes and the bills will take care of themselves. What does it mean? Take care of coins. The notes, or if you call them the bills, will take care of themselves. In Kenya, the paper money, we call them the notes. In America, they call them the bills. So the coins are regarded as the smallest unit of currency in any given nation. So what exactly does it mean? Let me just put it on the board so that you get to understand what I mean. Take care of coins. Take care of coins. Guess what happens now? The notes, all the bills, guess what happens? They will take care of themselves. That's a reality. In short, if you can tell me what exactly that means, then you've got the message. Take care of the small thing. And I remember when I was in high school, a teacher used to tell me, take care of the small things. The major ones will take care of themselves. When you can manage to take care of the coins, that means that you actually scrutinize. You go to the microscopic level of your finances. You take care of those small things. Those data bundles that you buy each and every time. Those small calls that you make that are not necessary. It costs you money. Those funny subscriptions that you have there for $2, $3, $5 that you rarely go. Those gym subscriptions that you go, you don't even attend those gyms. And those microscopic things, buying those popcorns out there, buying for those kind of things, wherever you go, and those small things, if you were to be frugal, if you were to actually go look at it from the microscopic point of view, guess what happens? Collectively, you're gonna solve a lot of things when it comes to money. And guess what happens? People tend to, by the way, I made a video and I told you guys, go do this, yeah? For the next 30 days, don't change anything. Don't adjust yourself. Just do exactly what you do. And now the difference on these 30 days, what I want you to do, take a pen and paper, go draw yourself, or if you know how to use a computer, go get yourself an Excel sheet where you write day 1, 2, 3 up to the last day. Now do this. Each and every time you purchase something, indicate what it is and how much it costed you. So go monitor all those microscopic usage. Whenever you call somebody, how much did it cost? How much do you make in terms of a day? How much do you usually buy you whatever? All those kind of things. How much do you buy those candies or sweets or whatever? All those kind of, monitor them down and then do the total at the end of the month. You're gonna be shocked when you realize how much you've actually been using out there. By the way, how many here have ever been employed by the Indians? Do you know these people don't even take lunch from the hotels and what have you, unless they are forced by the circumstance. Most of them actually, they carry their food or they prepare them from the premises. It is true. I've ever related to them and I know what I'm talking about. It is true. They do have the money, but they are so much minimalists. You even wonder, why are they doing that? Okay, now let's go to the second point. The second point now is none other than, he told me, guess what happens now? Your family, it is the primary problem that you have when it comes to you making money. I repeat, your family is the primary problem, or should I call it not really a problem, let me just call it a challenge. The first challenge or obstacle that you face when it comes to you creating your wealth. And how exactly is that? Guess what happens? Have you ever come up from a family whereby, maybe say you are kind of a guy who is, seem to have something or something of sort. And then if you come from a family whereby you don't even empower them, everything, whenever they have a thing, they call you. Hey, Joseph, you have to show up. No. Hey, Joseph, we have to do this. Hey, where are you? Hey, anything they think, a kid is going to university, you are the one. The kid is going to high school, you are the one. A kid is going... Every time there is a need as far as the money is concerned, you're the one to be called. By the way, have you ever noticed one thing? There is these great two families in Kenya, by the way. We do have the Somalis and we have the Indians. These are the people who live together collectively in large group of people. And I used to ask this Indian friend of mine, why do you guys live like in a very big family in one location? And you know what told me? We cannot part ways before someone's become stable. The moment you become stable, you get off. We empower the next one, you become stable, you get off. You can become stable, you get off. And sometimes you can even become stable and still come back to the same place. By the way, if you go read about the richest Indian, I think it's called the Mukesh Ambani. Very great person, by the way. He inspires me a lot. By the way, he has a very big building and it's like most of the family members live there. By the way, I stand corrected by the Indian friends. Go check out and not that specific information. Now, the point is this. Now, the problem that we Africans, get what happened? When I get money, you disregard even your family members. And those are the obstacles to your success. In terms of them every time holding your hands and all those kind of things, if you can be able to sort of empower them, take them to a certain level so that at least if there's something that rises up from a home, actually not only you can actually handle the thing, but also collectively you can be able to tame that problem. But now the problem that we do is this. You just pick up, just say your brother just finished high school or maybe finished a campus or anything, and just to pick them, give them like 100 G's, them to start a business. You've not even educated them, you've not showed them, you have never even attended a financial class for them to know what they are doing. You've never even told them about growth and all those kind of things. Just because maybe you're selling something somewhere and you become successful, then you pick them, you open them an outlet somewhere, and then you tell them, push that business, gonna work. It doesn't work that way. They do not possess the skills that you have. Take them, talk to them, empower them, show them, provide them. Maybe let's say you have an idea of maybe empowering them in future. Maybe you have a sister or a brother and one day you're thinking about empowering them. You have a business that you're operating. Go get them, bring them to your business, show them how it goes about. This is how you sell, this is how you do it, this is how you do. So by the time now you're parting ways, you're telling them, now go open and operate that outlet. They know how or where to start, rather than just picking somebody who had the school mentality. Boom, they have 500,000 or 200,000. Sometimes you guys have a lot of money to put like $1 million or something, and at the end of the day they squander the money. They don't even know how the business is run. They don't even know the purpose why you started them that outlet. They end up actually crumbling that specific business. Now the point is this. The point number 2 is your family. Your family, guess what? It is the primary problem. It's the primary problem when it comes to your wealth creation. Okay? So if you can take them as early as you can, if you can take care of them as early as you can, that means by empowering them, by showing them the way, how to do the things and all those kind of things. That way you not only create sort of a generational wealth or something of sort, but as well you actually go ahead and what we call you leverage on your family members and you can make a lot of money. And by the way, that's how it goes about. Let's go to point number 3. The point number 3 is none other than having something called, the point number 3 is learn to generate more from less. I was shocked. Learn to generate more from less. By the way, if you guys have ever related to Indians, do you sometimes feel like, why are these guys like minimalist? Like they operate on low budgets. Sometimes people complain about them paying people low salaries and something of sort. But you wonder, okay, why exactly is it happening? The reason is this. They usually have this strategy of, learn to generate more from. If it is possible for you to actually generate more from less, so be it. That's a reality. But the problem with you is that the moment you start a business, the next 2 days you want to behave as a CEO. It is true. You want to dictate from anything and everything. You're now reading everything from the periphery. You're now dictating everybody. You've delegated everything. You might find an Indian person who is operating a very big business. But that minute thing, if I remember there was a time I was somewhere and there was a problem. I think there was a technical problem with the printer, and then there was like a small thing. I don't know. I'm not good at those areas. Then there was a technical problem with that printer, and then the guy actually walked with the son to a place where we had a technical person who can actually repair that small thing. They are working together, and that thing maybe could cost maybe like $20 or $30 or something of sort, but they are working, leaving a very big shop out there to making sure that they count that cost. You're like, wow, can you just assume that and all those kind of things? And that is what people actually do, and you end up getting yourself into lots of problems whereby you have a lot of overheads. Maybe say your salaries, your operational cost is very high. Maybe you have a lot of, there's some of the things that you actually check in your businesses and what have you that can actually deter you from realizing the full potential, because you have a lot of outlet, what we call the cash out. And if you can be able to minimize the overheads, minimize the cash out and all those kind of, for example, I had also a friend who started a business, and before you starting the business, you are thinking thinking about, I want like 5 employees in my business. So the moment you open a business, you pump in the 5 employees. Along the way, you realize the business does not even need 3, just needs 2. So the excess of 3 is just actually an excess overheads. Then you start firing people. So the thing is, this is usually good to start at the down there, and then that business talk to you. Excuse me, or whatever the thing that you're doing to actually communicate to you, so that you can keep on pumping in things as you move to the next level. So if you can manage to generate more from less, that will be the thing. For example, I do make videos here. Obviously, I do post them on YouTube and what have you. This is a business on its own. For example, I can actually decide to sort of employ a lot of people to hold this camera, maybe to do this, all the editing and what have you. All those are overheads. But if I can be able to learn how to do the editing, I learn how to do the editing of the videos. I learn how to do my thumbnails. Maybe I learn how that I can be able to minimize the cost of production. I minimize the cost of production, minimize the cost of production. But obviously, there's a level you usually reach in life, better than in business on what have you. Then you realize now you need to delegate some of the responsibilities if the thing is actually growing out there, so that at least you can expand. So, okay, do not cling to the point of, hey, I just want to generate more from less. No, this is actually applicable, especially when you're starting up. A time comes now when you want to scale the business, you want to leverage out there so that you can be able to grow. That way now you have to start to delegate and what have you. And you have the crew members who do the production for you, do the editings for you, or the only thing that you do is to think about the next videos and what have you. I'm just using my case scenario to explain the point of you actually generating more from less. So if you can actually be able to understand that, that will be the most great thing that you can ever do to the next level. Now, the fourth point is that he told me is something called prepare for the succession all along. Prepare for the succession all along. What does it mean? All along. It simply means, guess what happens? We are mortal people. We ain't gonna live here forever. One day we're gonna get out of this place. Now, the thing is this, it's usually good to propagate that character that you have, to instill that understanding of the business to the next generation, be it either your kids or whoever you feel comfortable and appropriate to inherit your things. So Indians are very good at doing that specific things. And I gave an example when I made the first version of this video, and when I said Indians usually do something called, when they buy or sell a tractor or something, if there's engineering field, they write it Shanghai and Sons and what have you. So that thing has been there for quite a number of years. And I stand here to look for a business that has been there, an African-owned business that is over 100 years. I repeat, I would like to get a look of a business that is an African-owned that is over 100 years. Probably if there are very few, we have to think about it. But if you think about other guys who are very good at this, especially the Jews, we have people like this, like the Indians and what have you, and whites and what have you. So you find like they're so good at this, whenever they start a thing, they actually get to teach their kids and how it goes about, such that by the time now you transit off the productivity years, now someone takes over from you, and that's how you progress. That's how you hear there's a business like Coca-Cola. It has been there for years. The Kiwi things are there for years. The Colgate or what have you. It has been there for years and years and years. And the product still remains the same. So that's the thing. So it's always good to prepare for what you call the succession all along, so that it did not become a complicated thing. For example, in Africa, if someone dies, you guys, the crisis that comes in. I don't know who shows what. It's not even clear. Some people even die without even writing a will. You don't even know who gets what, who inherits what, who starts from where, and all those kind of things. And in that process, you realize that guy was the first generation that created the wealth. The next generation squanders everything, you brought it down, and then that generation, they actually go back to hustling like the first generation that did. So that is quite of a thing that I've actually realized that is out there, that you're supposed to take care of it so that doesn't hit you hard. And the last one, guess what happens now? The fifth point, this is none other than doing what is called frugality. Frugality is a necessity, or frugality is paramount. Frugality is paramount when starting, or when you are starting. What does it mean? See, when you're starting, you must be a frugal individual. You must be. I had a friend of mine, who's still a friend of mine, who is an Indian. He opened a very, I won't say a big hardware business, but quite of a sizable hardware business. And the guy, guess what? He was on scooter. Do you know the scooter? This sort of like a motorbike or something, like a small one, yeah? So the guy is always on a scooter. He has the capacity maybe to buy, let me talk of like 1.5 million. That's like 10,000 USD a car or something of sort. But the guy is not buying. He's thinking about the business, I don't even find that guy actually taking food from the hotel. The guy carries food. You can't imagine that. And can you imagine if you've had an African who is operating such kind of a business? That guy will be actually be making orders all over the place. Hey, you bring me food, and he's so rude when that food delays and something. So acting bossy too early. So this guy is down to earth. He's actually out there serving the customers. You can even think like he's the employee of his own business because of the way he moves from up, down, and all those kind of things, minimizing the cost, closing the business by himself, opening the business very early, and all those kind of things, going home by their scooter and what have you, because it actually minimizes the cost, go down to earth. But who actually can go ahead and incorporate that, what we call the delayed gratification? Most of the people do not have ability to do what we call the delayed gratification. You can be able to buy the thing, you can go ahead and do the thing, but you do not do that specific thing because you're looking at it from point of view. Hey, if I can sacrifice for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, I'm gonna be somewhere else. Actually, when I actually get myself on the liabilities, like getting myself cars, getting an expensive homes and what have you, then I'll be in a position to actually cater for all those kind of bills rather than shooting my foot way early. Those are my 5 things that I actually learned from the Indian friend. And guess what? I'm still gathering more, guys. So you have to stick around because I'll be here sharing more and more and more and more. Actually, this might be a series all along, and you can actually inherit something because guess what? We are all here on earth to actually learn from each other. Stay put and stay tuned. And by the way, don't forget to, if you'd like to have a conversation with me, my number is always on the description of this specific video. Grab that number, shoot me a call, let's talk business. And by the way, if you'd like as well to approach me using the email, again, is on the comment out there on the description of this specific video. Stay put. Make sure that you comment down below. Make sure you like and subscribe. For now, it's a goodbye and see you in the next one.